The college basketball experience preview and picks for Sunday, March the 15th, aka Selection Sunday edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by our Bracket Madness contest. We're giving away $5,000 in prizes. It's free to enter at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. Welcome, everybody, into the college basketball experience. Preview and picks for Selection Sunday, March the 15th. We made it, guys. We fucking made it.
Hey, we always do this for Mac, but is it possible that Colby's in jail?
Potentially. You'll have to stay tuned. You're going to have to subscribe to the VIP and the premium account to find out where Pick Dundee is. No, Pick Dundee flies out first thing in the morning for LA, where he's going to meet the SGP guys, Kramer and Green, and then we will meet them in Vegas. But yeah, three-man crew here. First off, intros. I am Moneyline Mac, former staffer with us with the Govs, South Kakalaka with the Gamecocks, and West by God, Virginia with the Mountaineers, also known as. You are looking live at Mac Tonight over here at the College Experience. Joining me to talk college hoops, you guys know him from the College Baseball Experience. He is a LeBaron driving, cocktail napkin having. He's Noah Bieniek. What up, Bieniek?
How we doing, guys? Selection Sunday. We have made it. The national holiday. We get a bracket in about, 16, 18 hours, 15 hours. I don't know what the math is there. But good day of hoops. Fantastic day. Like a lot of the games delivered on some big-time action. And, what we can promise is that tomorrow there will be at least one show reacting to the bracket. I don't know if there will be a show at our typical time, but you can expect us within the hour of the bracket being released. There will be a group of us on the College Basketball Experience. It all just depends on whether or not we're going to have Colby. So we'll see how that goes.
TBD. I like when we don't plan, and I like when we fly off the seat of our pants. So stay tuned. Organizations
Who
over
plans?
Nobody. I don't plan. I just go with the flow. I made that whole graphic, and I ended up tweaking it left and right throughout the whole Mac Madness or Mac. What did we call this tour? I don't even remember.
March Madness.
March Madness. That's how long ago this was. I don't even know what day it is. How many days have I been away from Morgantown? I don't even know where I'm at. I'm in Cleveland. I'm in Pittsburgh. That's what Hug said too. That didn't
just count how many shows you've finished because the Wi-Fi's been good on the trip.
Wi-Fi has been good as long as I don't fall asleep sitting up on the couch the other night. Hey, life lesson: don't try and pull back-to-back all-nighters. It just doesn't. Usually, it just doesn't work out well. But hey, third man in the booth. You guys know him from the DMV. He's a DC Sports Messiah. He is the green mowing, weed growing. Troy Chudy, what's up, bro?
What's up? I was going for the Rainbow Warriors look. I went right before we started and got my Hawaiian shirt. It's got Tibbles' face all over it too, so it's a nice 2-for-1. But yeah, the island looking good. I'm sure we'll get to it, but what's going on, guys? The very unnecessarily large NOS will carry me through tonight's stream and into work tomorrow morning. So don't know if the diabetes will like that, but I'm sure the chat will.
All I know is we made it. We are at Selection Sunday, guys. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. The weather's starting to get warm. Bieniek, what format do you want to do? Do you want to go game by game or do you want to go bracket by bracket?
I just loaded it up because I did not preload it on accident before we started up the show. But let's go bracket by bracket, and we begin with the absolute banger that we saw at the end of the night here. This was a slugfest early, where both teams' defense, physical, really limiting both offenses that, Utah Valley, one of the best shooting teams in all of the country. Cal Baptist has a mid-major scoring star in Dominique Daniels Jr., and neither team could really find it probably throughout the first 25 to 30 minutes, and then this thing really picked up in the final 5 to 10 minutes, and it got very exciting. Cal Baptist pulls it out. They recently transitioned from Division II to Division I. They are going dancing for the first time in 2026.
They are, man. Shout out to Rick Croy and company. Dom Daniels was not good tonight, but fucking onions with those couple shots down the stretch. That's what happens. You get a fucking guy, veteran, didn't play well, didn't matter, made the plays when they needed to. Shout out to Cal Baptist. What a brutal missed dunk.
Oh my God, yeah.
God.
And it created like the odd man rush going the other way, which clinched it. Like if it was a missed layup and the ball's laying there 2 feet off the rim and you can foul, there's still 6 seconds or so to go. But I mean, they were able to run it out. That was brutal.
Was brutal. Troy, any thoughts here?
Yeah, the Fighting Charlie Kirks get close but can't quite cross the finish line. This was right about the time that I fell asleep on the couch for the last hour of this game and then woke up to our group chat kind of going nuts with the missed dunk, and I had to rewind the TV. Luckily it stayed on. All the stupid smart TVs nowadays will fucking turn off on their own or like go to a screensaver or something like that.
Yes.
I think we should go back to dumb appliances where I can just control everything on my own. But the rewind option gave me a little bit of a look back. Man, what good to be on the Lancers side, but it does feel a little like we got one to bounce in our favor.
Mag, you talked about it and Troy bringing up the group chats. Like I texted with 8 minutes ago, brutal Dom Daniels game we were watching here. He began this thing 4 of 21. And to your point, Onions finished 7 of 25. His last 4 shots, he made 3 of them, and they were a couple of big time threes. The other guy that kind of had his own version of onions was their 7-footer Brady Hennigy. He went 3 of 3 from the free throw line, and he was like a 54% free throw shooter on the season. So that was massive. Kind of flipped the tide there to get that thing done. Those 3 points were crucial in this one. So yeah, that was a massive game. It would have been a first time trip for either one of the programs. Utah Valley surely was deserving and have been knocking on the door for quite some time. So thought we'd begin with that one because it delivered in the final window of the night. Let's jump into Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where Mac was there for the beginning of his day to see 2 fantastic games here. Mac, you go ahead, take the ball, lead us wherever you want to go. Tell us about your day in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. First off, nobody covers ground like me. That's first off. I saw 3 games in one day in 2 different cities. Woke up in my hotel around what time we get done with the show last night? 5.
I was gonna say Avetta kind of tailed after you, but right, she went to the second of these games and then went over.
Yeah, she was hanging around in Vegas a lot. But yeah, we got done, I think, around 5 or 6. I left my hotel at 10:30-ish. Woke up at 9, got some coffee, and got up and made the 2-hour drive over to Pittsburgh to watch what may have been I said at the time it was the game of the day, and then I saw the nightcap that I was at. Dayton, St. Louis had everything, dude, because Dayton couldn't lose the game. They have to win this tournament to make the NCAA tournament, so they were the more desperate team. St. Louis still trying to find their identity after they struggled down the stretch a little bit. An unbelievable game. Just back and forth, haymaker for haymaker. Dayton hits the final sequence, and it's on my Twitter right now. Dayton's down what? One. They come down, they hit a fucking 3 off an offensive rebound. They go up 2. St. Louis races it back down the floor, flip back to Avila. He bangs in a 3 from the top of the key. No timeout. Dayton comes down, gets it on the rim, tip in with 0.3. One of the guys on the fucking bench fucking comes running out like it was a buzzer beater. He's lucky he didn't get teched, but
That happened a couple times tonight. But yeah, that game it happened.
yeah, St. Louis called a timeout so that he was allowed to run on the floor, I guess, technically. Anthony Grant won't die, man. Everybody wants to get rid of him, and here he is back in the championship.
Still kicking and fighting.
And just a great college basketball game. And Dayton's crowd was awesome. They're such a proud program. I know everybody laughs when I use that word. The Dayton Flyers are the definition of a proud program.
Yeah, 2 months ago they wanted their guy, their head honcho, gone, and 2 months later they have full force in the PPG Paints Arena there with the crowd, and they should have a very sizable crowd to battle VCU for the 3rd time this season tomorrow. I shouted out Amel Latang to have a huge matchup. He didn't do a whole lot. It was Jordan Durkak, who has had some injuries this year. He's battled through and just was money from deep and a couple of shots there, and also got to the line a ton. He was a big difference maker for Dayton in this one. It wasn't like St. Louis. I didn't think they played necessarily bad. They had 4 guys in double digits, shot it pretty well the whole day. They did get doubled up basically at the free throw line, and that was a big difference there. Mac, anything else from this game? Troy, any thoughts on this?
Nothing else on this game, but yeah, go ahead, Troy.
This was more of just, you could kind of see the late endings that were all going in St. Louis's favor just seemed to run out of gas. And I was worried there for a minute that we were going to have to watch the highlight of cream mayo white rice boy banging that top of the key 3. But, oh man, I think it's probably in the best interest of Dayton for Anthony Grant to stay around, because I was talking to some guys about Porter Moser earlier. If you're going to use a bunch of money on a different athletic buyout or hiring a new coach and whatnot and put them in the same situation without any talent difference, you're just going to get the same results anyways. So now maybe they can keep a guy, not worry about it, and spend a little bit more on players. But I guess we'll get to the next one here, but like this one was exciting, and you felt like, oh man, only one of these 2 games is going to be really great wire to wire, and that was not true. You got double trouble here.
And VCU rolls St. Joe's. I mean, VCU kicked their ass wire to wire, start to finish. They were up like 20 at the under 12. Phil Martelli Jr.'s got VCU back in Championship Sunday, Bieniek.
Yeah, ho hum Saturday for the Rams. And I mean, this program's just kind of at this point been there, done that. With Odom taking them to the dance, and I mean, Rhodes had them dancing quite often in his final tenure there. And I think with a loss, they're definitely knocking on the door still. It would definitely be wise of them just to win it and take it out of the committee's hands. But right on the doorstep of another NCAA tournament appearance, and Phil Martelli doing the dang thing, even if there may be some distractions if he's lining up his next gig or whatnot. But yeah, this is a really interesting 3rd game, as VCU's handled Dayton in both matchups so far this season. And I'm excited for the Sunday game that you're going to be at, Mac.
I am too. That building's going to be loaded. Troy, anything you want to add before I make one last point on this game?
Yeah, this is actually a great time for Dundee to not be on a show, but this is why you hedge 16-1 conference futures, because VCU could come in and roll you into the ground and you would just be sitting there holding your dick in your hand. But instead, we at least escaped with a little bit of a profit there. And I know that this, like, if I start getting Wi-Fi issues, it's Kramer and Sean, like, DDoSing me to lag me out of the show for suggesting that sometimes it's okay to hedge a little bit. But if you don't watch this live, that might get deleted. But yeah, we'll see how this final is going to go. VCU just looks like they're rolling, hitting all cylinders right now. So it'll be an interesting
St. Joe's Flame got put out today. That was for sure.
Yeah, and we'll see
pretty quickly.
We'll see what happens with Donahue. Yeah, I think VCU should be in, no matter what happens tomorrow. And there's a possibility we may get a 3-bid A10 now.
There is a possibility. That is for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if Dayton beats like VCU at the buzzer, are you going to take Dayton out VCU out for losing a heartbreaker to a quality Dayton team? I mean, Dayton's not terrible. Dayton's got talent and they've had wins. They just been inconsistent this year. So a 3-bid A10 is definitely on in the deck of cards, I think, tomorrow.
I think somebody said this in the chat earlier, not to jump in front of you, Noah, but someone was talking about how, like, you've got to, when you're thinking about which teams are going to get bids, you can't use your actual brain. If you watched a bunch of these games this year, you have to put yourselves in the shoes of the committee. I think they would leave them out because I don't think the committee is they're super disingenuous. They're just going to throw as many of their TMZ guys in there, I think, which, again, I don't agree with, but I think it would be a quite a close call here if VCU doesn't get it done.
And just being realistic on the matter, too. Like, you're looking at VCU's 44th in net and 42nd in WAB, wins above bubble. So they're like pure bubble team.
Mm-hmm.
I would highly advise them winning that game tomorrow. So.
Yeah, that takes all the pressure off. So,
yep. Before we move on, actually, I wanted to bring up the question. So with Cal Baptist punching their ticket, they are a 13 seed. Now, defense is stingy. They have a star guard. Outside of that, we can see them kind of hit some lulls offensively. How live do we think they are to possibly pull a stunner in the NCAA tournament? They would be entering currently as a 13 seed. Your 4 seeds are Virginia, Alabama, Kansas, and Vanderbilt, Mac.
Good question. They didn't play any bye games, though. In like the last couple years, I think.
Well, they knocked off UC Irvine on the road. That's quality.
That's a nice win.
They actually played a couple of bye games. Took 3 straight L's to the Big 12. Lost by 8 at Colorado. They got smoked by BYU by 31, and they lost by 6 at Utah.
Is there any chance that Dom Daniels could get hot against, like, Alabama because they play no defense and maybe Alabama's cold? See, I'd be worried about them playing like a Virginia team or someone that has the resources to just commit to one guy and kind of deal with whatever the cards fall after that. And I know Alabama's got so much talent that they could also score, but they're very 3 happy. You could get into a position where it gets late into a game and Dom Daniels is hot and Alabama's not. But at least we get Colby's wish here of everybody gets to watch Dom Daniels in an NCAA tournament game, which should be somewhat exciting. I think it really plays to him. Yeah, I mean, and to be so cold in the beginning part of this game makes you think there's a chance the next game, if any kind of statistical variance comes back, he could start the next game and it would look much different than how this ended up.
And also, like, I feel now they're tested with that. It's like exact scenario that you brought up, Troy, like with an athletic defender that's stingy sticks on him and he can't get anything free. Rick Croy had to dial up a couple of plays where he started off the ball and would send him wheeling into the paint with some speed in order to kind of get him going. So I think now that they've kind of got that warmed up, they know the idea of how to handle that, and they were able to persevere and win that game. I think they take that with more confidence going to the next one. Is that correct, Mac?
I think they're going to be playing with house money. They've never been to the tournament. They're coming from the D2 ranks. So I think Rick Croy and company will play extremely loose. I don't know if they can win a game, but I think they can hang around in the first half for sure.
Yeah, I just don't remember many WAC teams, and specifically like Grand Canyon's kind of gotten a lot of the bids lately in the league. The WAC hasn't made a whole lot of noise in March, so I'm hesitant with CBU there. Let's jump into the one game that you saw in Cleveland tonight, which was also a thriller of a game. As Toledo was leading this thing by double digits a lot early. Akron mounts a huge run early in the second half to take the lead. And then it was back and forth, teams trading blows left and right. Mac, walk us through your vantage point of this matchup in the MAC tournament final.
In the MAC, baby. Maction delivered once again. This league just never disappoints. I mean, Toledo came out playing out of their mind. Those two guards made shots like crazy to start the game, and created a little bit of separation. But Akron switched up some defenses, went to a 1-3-1 zone in the second half, pressed them a little bit with some token pressure. I thought that really changed the momentum, and their defense really got them back into it. So the Zips refused to lose. They kept getting the ball to the rim. They just have more dudes than Toledo. I thought they're tougher than Toledo. But you feel for Kowalczyk and company, because if they ain't gonna get that one, man, they're running out of opportunities. But
did you hang out in the press conference? What was that like?
No, I was out with the celebration for Akron. I mean, Akron's not bet on quite the run. We only talked about Miami just because of the 31-0, but Akron's only lost 2 MAC games in the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
They're like 40-2.
Yeah, and they've won the tournament 3 straight seasons.
Yeah, 4 out of the last 5. I mean, Gross has got it going right now.
Yeah. 4 guys in double digits. Who is the guy that hit the fucking bomb of a 3 to win it?
For
Akron.
For Akron?
It wasn't Tavari, right?
No, it wasn't. It was
because he pulled up with confidence. He had no interest in sending the ball away.
Yeah, it was what's his fucking name?
Was that Mahaffey? No, not Mahaffey.
No, it was it was Hardman.
Okay, he was the hot hand tonight. So that makes sense.
He was. Sharon Young, the Morgantown High kid, was the one that really got him back into the game. He hit the big 3 when they were down in the dumps. Mm-hmm. And then got 2 big steals. But also I just thought their bigs wore out Toledo by the end. Shout out to the big fella for Toledo. I thought he played out of his mind. Austin Parks, the Ohio kid, made big play to keep him in the game. And then those Toledo guards are really good too. Wilson and Blyden, I mean, they're explosive. So the MAC was awesome, man. That was as fun a conference tournament as I can remember. Can't wait to do it again next year. And shout out to all the fans that were at the games as well.
It was a really poor time for Sonny Wilson to have his worst game of his season and maybe his Toledo career. And Mac, that's the theme of Toledo Kowalczyk teams in the MAC tournament is they just have a blunder or a stumper of a game and it gets them out of there. Honestly, I thought they were punching above their weight limit this year. I thought this was a hell of a run for them to be that close with this team. I thought speaks volumes of Kowalczyk as a coach, but I mean, I don't know how you rebound or bounce back after that. Just another gut punch, many that he's taken within the last few years. Troy, your thoughts from what was an absolute thriller in Cleveland.
Well, the best part about this one is Akron. I mean, the guy basically takes the Damian Lillard approach of I'm just going to dribble in the spot that I want to be in and pull up. And if you're not going to get right up in my face, I'm taking the shot from 5 feet behind the line. But they do all that. The last possession is kind of hectic where it ends up being that like just inside of half court chuck. And everyone starts celebrating, and the camera immediately pans to Tailgate Report and Moneyline Mac right in the crowd. Moneyline Mac's walking across the aisle. Shout out to Kyle Kerms, who did a little bit of an edit, showed that Moneyline Mac was possibly dipping skull pouches, which pretty pussy over there, Mac, if that's true. It could just be alleged. What a game. This one was very worrisome. Obviously did not win the 8.5 on Akron. Did not win the 3.5 on Akron that I bet, but still chased it with a plus 135 money line, a plus 100 money line. We got to talk. Our boy Huffer got a 3-6 win margin at plus 380 on Toledo live. So ended up being okay, but this was more of a game that you just couldn't take your eyes off of. This one was great.
Shout out to Tailgate Report here, tipping $10 saying great week of ball and memories with family, friends, and meeting SGPN listeners. Special thanks to Mac for the birthday beers. Happy birthday, Tailgate Report. And he says, finally, make sure we all let it ride the next 3 weeks. Hashtag 2BidMac.
Amen.
Shout out to KBL Sus. I think he's talking about you, Mac. He said, why are you donating money when we don't need money? And then he said, they're donating to a drunk that should have 10 DUIs. And then we got another $5 directly after that. So thank you. Eat shit.
Mac, to Tailgate Report, what were we going to say?
Cheers to Tailgate Report. He's a great guy. We had a great time. It started the Battle of the Bricks, and then in Evansville for the OVC, and then we were at the Horizon as well, and then we finished at the MAC, and then can't wait for Indy here in a couple weeks. And KB, as for the other guy, the Jack fuck, you're watching me.
There you go. Yeah, you're still here.
You're still in here. You're paying me right now. You're watching. You are paying me by watching and subscribing and with your viewership. So tell me, who's winning in life? You go back. Do yourself a favor. Go back to that little cardboard box in your parents' basement. Shut it and don't come out until the fall because you're a loser, a low life, low IQ.
Low IQ.
And nobody likes you. Not even your parents. You're a disgrace to society, you soft-ass bitch. All right. I got that off my chest.
Anyways, we'll see you in Vegas.
Skybrick says, around the horn, what's the percentage of Miami, Ohio that doesn't make it? Where did it go?
Sorry, I was trying to pin the other one.
Good. I have a feeling the committee will snub them with the 347th strength of schedule. They're in. I mean, if you go 31-0 in the regular season, you finish the year 31-1, the percentage is 0%. And if it's not 0%, there's pie in the face in the committee already. Everybody knows that they're bought and sold. It's just an absolute clown show if they don't get in. Mac, I don't know if we need to go around the horn on this one, but your thoughts here?
I already went off on the whole anybody that thinks Miami, Ohio shouldn't go to the dance. I mean, I don't know how many more times I can beat that drum. I mean, the Akron guys tonight were like, all you do is go to bat for Miami. No, Miami is the focal point. It's a 2-bid Mac. It's a Tailgate's point. It's a 2-bid Mac. It was a special year in the Mac. Miami of Ohio obviously was the headline because they went 31-0, but like Akron was fucking loaded this year. Kent was really good again. Bowling Green blew out K-State on the road. Eastern Michigan won at Cincinnati. UMass fucking went 2-0 against the ACC. The MAC was really good this year, and I'm really happy, and I think we're all happy to see that they're going to get 2 bids. Hopefully they don't send Miami to Dayton. That would be bullshit.
Yeah, and then we've got forgive me if I say it wrong, but it's either Amar or Amarcy, saying, yo, moneyline and Dundee. I slammed all my profit on Cal Baptist moneyline at the end of the night. That boy Daniels is cold. Great pick.
Oh, he's awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's called diversifying your bonds.
Great bet, Amar. That was your bet, your move. So that's what I always tell people is like, yeah, you can listen to us, but you're still the one click and submit. So, Mac, anything else there?
Yes, some other people in the chat need to take that life approach. That if you miss a bet, I did not hit the button for you. Noah did not hit the button for you. Troy did not hit the button for you. Life is all about accountability. And some jack fucks need to look at themselves in the mirror. But cheers to you, brother. I'm glad you hit a nice little parlay, and that money's yours, not ours. But we'll take.
Yeah, we don't ask for it. We don't even ask for it. We love your donations, but we don't even ask for like, hey, we gave that pick out. You owe us any money? No, because it's your money that you're doing what you want with it.
Donate 100 to us, and I may call you a retard. Yeah. You never know.
Jesus Christ! All right, guys, we are brought to you by our March Madness bracket madness contest. The bracket challenge is back. SGPN is teaming up to give away $5,000 in prizes. It is free to enter. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. And we also have a March Madness Survivor pool going on right now where there's a $25,000 guarantee prize to the winner, or it'll be split between a tie at the top of the leaderboard. But we are back. We're running it again over at Splash Sports. Go over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor to sign up today. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. If you're new to Splash Sports, use the promo code SGPN50 and get up to $50 in bonus pick'em entries. We are also brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best deal out there in the entire ticketing universe when it comes to finding deals on sporting event tickets. If you're looking to go out and attend some of these NCAA tournament games, whether it be men's basketball, women's basketball, what have you, use the code over at SeatGeek today. That is the code the I don't even know where this is at on our. The code is SGPN10. Forgive me on that. This is the first day with this in the doc, but
they're counting down 7.
Which that's why SeatGeek, they have over 35 million downloads. It's the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, more. The NCAA tournament is officially here, and you can go over to SeatGeek and purchase any of the tickets at a very good, valuable price. Plus, MLB's back and right around the corner. NBA and NHL playoffs are around the corner as well. World Cup tickets are coming on SeatGeek. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know that you're getting a good deal. Look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And of course, we have that code for you guys, SGPN10, for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That is 10% off any tickets with the promo code SGPN10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek. And the college basketball experience is also brought to you by Kalshi. Kalshi is a real money prediction market that is illegal in all 50 states. Kalshi has a ton of trading options for your favorite sports. Kalshi has combos now, and you can combine 2 or more predictions to increase your payouts. Kalshi, on their platform, you can trade anything. New Kalshi customers get $20 when they use the promo code SGPN. That is Kalshi, KALSHI, promo code SGPN. And lastly, we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. They have you covered for pick'em for almost every sport and will have every game during the men's NCAA basketball tournament this upcoming week in the first round. Underdog has just increased their payouts. 2 picks in an entry can pay up to 3.5x. 3 picks in an entry pays now 6.5x your entry fee. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up today with the promo code TCESGPN. That is Underdog Fantasy, promo code TCESGPN. And we are back here on the college basketball experience. Myself, Noah Bieniek, joined alongside Moneyline Mac and Troy Tuning. We are running through the games that have happened on Saturday, the teams that have punched their tickets, the teams that have moved on to their conference tournament championship. We're jumping into the next tournament that was the Big 12. Arizona taking down Houston in the Big 12 championship. Mac, how much of this game did you catch? How surprised were you in the outcome? And what were your overall thoughts coming out of it?
I had the quad box on the during the drive from Pittsburgh to Cleveland back. So had it on the phone, a lot of it. Not surprised. I think Arizona's a notch ahead of Houston. I think they just have more size and they just wear you out. They don't have to make jump shots to win. I think Arizona's awesome. They're fucking so damn good. Great win.
Yeah, to your point, don't need a whole lot of jump shots to win. They only hit 6 threes, but they shot it at 46%. Koa Pete, one of his better games since he returned from that injury where he missed a handful of games. Braden Burries was awesome tonight. When you're looking at like one guy that can make some clutch shots for them down the stretch, it's him. The thing to note from this game, Jaden Bradley leaves with an injury. That's not what you would love to see with no games in between now and the first round of the NCAA tournament. Always kind of seems to, be a Big 12 semifinal or championship game team suffers an injury, and there's just this looming question of, will they be 100% for the NCAA tournament now? Like, how many games, if they miss any, could they possibly? I don't know if it's going to be a serious injury there for Bradley, but I am not quite sure. I do not believe he came back into the game for the final minutes of this one. Troy, Arizona, Houston, what were your takeaways from this one?
I'm glad that I didn't get sucked into my favorite bet, which is chasing the Cougars, much like Moneyline Mac, but it felt like there was going to be one of these games where they were kind of depending too much. I brought it up. Uzan hasn't played as great this year, and they were really depending on Flemings to kind of carry a lot of the scoring for the whole team. And Tugler looked probably the best that he has in a little while tonight, but they had Kingston Flemings in hell, and he couldn't really do anything in this game. We know that Arizona's a very impressive team. I just think we've got to take into account that this could be like Houston showing that they're the sixth or fifth best team in the country. I would worry a little bit about CJ's Final Four and national championship futures after seeing that, because you're going to have to get past a team with the level of Arizona. But classic Big 12 tournament's awesome. Teams at the end are all elite, and you get great games. So hopefully Flemings doesn't go passive like that in the second round of the NCAA tournament.
I'm not coming out of this thing any lower than I previously was on Houston. I think they lost to premier top-tier national championship contender. And on any given night, I still think they would have a chance to beat that team. A couple of breaks go their way if they head to the line a few more times. Like, I know how physical Houston is to only get 14 free throws compared to Arizona's 27. I think if that goes the other way around, they have a chance of winning this game, Max. So anything else we want to say before we move on as Arizona wins the Big 12 tournament? They sweep the titles in their second year in the league.
Yeah, just an overall special year for Arizona. Hopefully they're healthy. They said Bradley banged up in this game. But they've been the best team all year in this league. So not surprising that they finished a job and wear out Houston.
Yeah, and I saw this from Evan Miyakawa. The first time in a power conference game where Arizona had let up a kill shot in his terms, which is 10 points in a row without a response. Houston went on a 14-0 run in this one, and Arizona still persevered. I think that's just championship DNA and something that you're willing to use it to back in the NCAA tournament when picking a team to go far and into the Final Four. And speaking of picking teams to go far, possibly Final Four, how about this one? Virginia gave Duke all they could handle in
Really
this,
did.
and they had Cam Boozer. We were talking Kingston Fleming's in hell. I don't know if he was necessarily passive in this one, if Flemings was necessarily passive in this one. I do know that Boozer was quite aggressive in this one and going up quite often. And my gosh, Ugana Onyensu, 9 freaking blocks against Duke.
He's good.
He was a fantastic impact player in this one, and kept UVA in it from tip to finish. The best player on the floor tonight was Caden Boozer. Found his shot, gained a little confidence in a big time game. Mac, Duke 74, Virginia 70. The Cavs cover. Duke wins. They sweep the ACC titles for the second season in a row. What are your thoughts here as John Shire gets it done again?
Yeah, Duke's been pretty well automatic to win the ACC tournament under Shire now, it feels like. So a nice win. They had blown the fuck out of Virginia a couple weeks ago, so Virginia entered the bell here. Ryan Odom and company, they're good, man.
Yeah, I was impressed with Virginia in this game. What are the chances? I know you read them off as on being on the 4 seed line, Noah, but what are the chances that they put them at a 3?
I don't know.
Because I thought they looked impressive enough to maybe put their name in that pot to move up a seed line.
They're probably going to stick him on the 4.
I don't think they're going to move up after a loss. Yeah, they're the top 4 on bracket matrix. They could be a 3 in the committee's eyes. It all depends on how much they're valuing Gonzaga this year, as Gonzaga is slated above UVA for the time being. So that would be what I have on that matter. But on this game, like, I was very impressed with Virginia's defense, and not just on Yensu. Like, they were athletic enough to keep a lot of Duke's guards in front of them. They weren't giving up any free threes to Dame Sarr or Isaiah Evans. Isaiah Evans earned a couple of those tough shots that he ended up drilling. If anything, that's what I've learned with Duke missing Caleb Foster and Gongba. Like, Gongba's huge defensive for Duke. He's their biggest piece down low defensively, and that's where he makes his biggest impact. The guy that stepped up and really like earned his keep in this stretch of games without the 2 starters has been Isaiah Evans, and that guy was money in this one. So any other thoughts before we move on from Duke UVA?
No.
I still don't think the Boozers have lost in a tournament setting since being like 12 years old or 11 years old or something.
That is still true.
And Duke will be the 1 seed tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, slam dunk. Do you think they'll be the number 1 overall, Mac?
I do. They were already number 1 overall, and they didn't really do anything to change that. They won this week still.
Yeah, and they have the head-to-head over Michigan, and I mean, I still think Arizona should have a fighting, chance at the number 1 overall. I think they're in that conversation, but everybody else has been painting that picture that they're not. So anyways, the Big West also delivered today. My goodness, there were so many good basketball games today, and Hawaii goes dancing for the first time in a decade. The Rainbow Warriors. Oh boy.
Oh, there we go.
I love how I jinxed how his connection has been so solid up until this point.
Yeah, it is funny that he gets
never,
like 30 minutes anywhere near any kind of civilization and his phone and computer start working magically again.
Yeah, never bank on hotel Wi-Fi. So that was silly of me to jinx it. But Hawaii wins 71-64. They pull away in this one late. This was a tight game pretty much throughout. They made a little bit more shots, made a little bit more plays when they needed to, as the offense for UCI just went cold. They shot it so poorly in this one. This was really a grinder of a matchup between the 2 teams. Troy, the Bows, they persevere and punch their ticket to the big dance.
Yeah, and I was on the island too. I kind of took the wise words of Cannabis Capper here. He just had a really good feeling about this team in the preseason tournament show that we did. I'm pretty sure that was him that took Hawaii, right? You took UCI, he took Hawaii. So both of you guys were spot on the money, 3 months in advance. But the island finally doesn't choke, and we get the island in the tournament. We get LIU in the tournament. I mean, they should almost have Dundee be the spokesperson for, like, after they get past the top 6 seeds, they should have Dundee release seeds 7 through 16 and the play-in games, because we actually care about those teams. But yeah, the Bows get it done. The one of their big men was pretty impressive finishing around the rim.
Ruladef and Isaac Johnson, the dynamic duo up front for Hawaii. They're really deep in the front court. They're quite strong there for a mid-major team. They've got 3 guys that they kind of rotate in and out. And today it was Isaac Johnson, who was 8 of 10 from the field inside the arc. Didn't really have it going a ton from deep, but he has that in his game too. Ruladef hit a couple of big free throws at the end of this one, goes for a double-double in that. And Hawaii pulls this thing out. They make, like I said, when I opened this one up, they made some clutch plays down the stretch, couple of good defensive stands, and they pulled this thing out as they had a good, strong crowd contingent there in Vegas. So
yeah, they seemed like they did just enough to make a few plays at, like, right when they needed to end a run where it seemed like the Anteaters were about to take over, and then they would slip back through their fingers. But we're all proud of the island here, and the best part about that is we get at least one more game where we're gonna get to play the song on the show.
Mac accidentally clicked on a virus on his computer, has to reboot it, basically restart it on itself. So that's the news on Mac. He'll be back in here hopefully soon. And while we
got him,
and while we wait for the Mr. Moneyline, let me tell you guys about Rhythm, as they are your official data tool for dominating the madness that is college hoops. The AI bracket generator is now open. You can generate up to 3 NCAA tournament brackets backed by AI models. Last year, a Rhythm user went 25-2 in his bracket thanks to Rhythm's model in the first round. Looking to go premium? Use the promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download the Rhythm app. Use promo code SGPN25 for 25% off your first month. And the college basketball experience is also brought to you by Novig. With Novig, you are getting the best prices because it is America's #1 sports prediction market. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend just $5 if you use the promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. And lastly, we are brought to you by us. Yes, the sportsgamblingpodcast.com merch sale, aka Merch Madness. You can go over there to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. 15% off all of your orders if you use the promo code March. It is here, folks. We will have the bracket at 6 p.m. Eastern. No earlier, no later. Well, actually, all later. But first half unders, man, they're right around the corner. Tuesday is our first action of the NCAA tournament. That's when we're going to be spraying the board with these first half unders. And you can be a part of the journey and part of the movement with the first half unders. If you go over there, purchase a sweatshirt or a t-shirt, we've got something for everybody, different color combos and whatnot. So 15% off everything over there in the merch store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Use the promo code March for 15% off all of your orders. And we are back here on the college basketball experience. Moneyline Mac is back. His computer virus was downloaded. He rebooted. It's still there, but he is in the stream now and back joining the vibe and whatnot. Mac, did you catch any of the Big West final as Hawaii pulls it out late against UC Irvine?
What a win for Hawaii. Shout out Cannabis Capper, man. That was his preseason darling. Dude, this Hawaii team, we kind of wrote them off a little bit the last couple of weeks of the season. They lose to Long Beach that last game and really disappointing, but they foxholed it up in this tournament, man. Everybody was out on them, and they rose to the occasion. So the Bows dancing for the first time in, what, a decade?
Yep, 2016 was the last one. Hey, that semifinal bye ain't the worst thing in the world, Mac.
Yeah. No, that thing sucks.
I got you to say, yeah, that's all I needed to hear. That's the clip right there. The Big East final.
This game sucked.
This was a blowout. St. John's runs away with this thing. UConn and Dan Hurley did everything they could to try to keep this thing a game. Hurley was calling timeouts left and right, used 2 in the first half, used the 3rd in the second half, trying to keep this thing within like 10 to 15 points. St. John's would just respond anytime that UConn tried to build some momentum. The Garden belongs to St. John's. They win the Big East title in both the regular season and the tournament for the second straight year in a row. Rick Pitino is working wonders, Mac. Your thoughts on just the entire tenure so far of Rick Pitino in fucking New York at St. John's? And I mean, this program was in the dumps, and he took it over. They're now back-to-back Big East champs.
Yeah, and they keep getting more money in there now.
Thank Rapoli, by the way.
Yeah, like all it took was a little bit of success. They sniffed it, and they went toe to toe and just beat the shit out of UConn. They own UConn right now. They've won what, 5 out of 6?
Maybe won 5 out of 6. I don't know straight up, but they've covered 5 of the last 7.
Yeah. Patino's got Hurley's number recently, the last 2 years at least. So shout out to Pitino, man. Best coach of the sport, probably still. Like, the guy just wins. He takes over a program that was horrible, builds it into what, back-to-back Big East champions by his 3rd year with the program. Now we'll see if they can go on a March run, because they petered out early because they couldn't make shots. They shoot it better this year from the perimeter. I think they could be a Final Four contender for sure.
They still, I don't know if they have a closer. If they're in a tight game, I just don't know if that's Darling. He's still scrambling all over the floor, a little undersized, a little unathletic for my liking there. But gosh, like, their defense is impeccable. They don't need to make shots if they're just going to choke you out early. Troy, St. John's, I mean, they win by 20.
St. John's, this was the hair versus no hair cap here. You can't ever take a dude that's that old and has that much mafia backing and still has that nice head of hair on him against Dan Hurley. Yeah, this one was honestly, it was the idea that this was New York and the mafia play, but I definitely didn't see like a live alt line before when we were previewing this game. I thought this would be much closer than it was, and St. John's just kind of asserted their dominance here. I was hoping for a more angry post game from Dan Hurley, but that would have been like an 8-point loss instead of what we saw. So we lost that, but shout out to St. John's and Slick Rick, man. Didn't even have to pull out the white suit.
Slick Rick and
yeah. Damani with the stat there. I heard John Fanta say it post game that it was some stretch or trend or whatever, but that is probably correct. I trust Damani. So first time it's ever happened in Big East history that a program has won the regular season and tournament titles in back-to-back seasons.
Yeah,
so,
it is true. I saw it.
Fucking incredible. And they've blown them out twice in the Big East tournament title game. Speaking of, this wasn't necessarily a blowout, but I don't know if San Diego State really ever threatened to win this game. Utah State stiff arms SDSU in Vegas, where there was a strong fan contingent from both sides in this one, but Utah State makes a lot of plays down the stretch. Falslev missed a couple of minutes in this one. He looks kind of all types of banged up, knee. It was something like wrist, I think, but a couple of different injuries and ailments that he was dealing with, according to Coach Calhoun with Utah State. But no less, like without him on the floor, they were just fine. MJ Collins had a huge day today. Goes 8 for 15 from the field, puts up 20 points. Mac, the Aggies win the Mountain West regular season and tournament titles.
Dominated the last 10 minutes of that game. I think San Diego State had a lead at like the 12-minute mark after they led at half. But Jared Calhoun wins, man. Just an unbelievable era in just 2 years in Logan. Just they win. They make shots. They're disciplined. They defense, zone defense, and we'll see how much longer Calhoun's going to be there because, like, dude, he's got that thing fucking rolling, and they're heading into the Pac-12 now.
Yeah, and this one, man, just another tough break for San Diego State, dealing with injuries at the wrong time of the year. They're without their starting point guard, without one of their starting front court guys, and Miles Heide there. Just tough time to run into Utah State, especially with everything that's on the line. They're hoping that head-to-head win against New Mexico will do justice and get them into the NCAA tournament. Troy, do the Aztecs look like an NCAA tournament team to you? What were your takeaways from the title game in the Mountain West?
See, the Aztecs fall into the they're going to get screwed by the TMZ committee. For me, I think that they're a team that should be in, which leads me to believe that they will be left out. Utah State they were the better team coming into this. We were hoping that maybe San Diego State could put up a fight. I ate shit on this one. But, Utah State they deserve to win the Mountain West, and shout out to them. They played great.
Won the regular season and postseason. Best team in that league.
Yep. San Diego State sitting at 45 in both the net and wins above bubble. That is the magic number for the bubble, but one little tinkering one way or another, if they value one metric just a little bit more, could decide the fate of the Aztecs. His bracket matrix has them as the first team out right now, unfortunately for the Aztecs.
I think this stat will probably decide the fate. The TMZ committee will just say that the Mountain West has struggled in the tournament and leave the extra team out.
Mac, you taking the bait there, or are we moving on?
What?
I could open that thing up and we'll go 10 minutes on the Mountain West.
So, the comment? Yeah. No.
So, yeah, we'll move
on. I'm not acknowledging any SEC or Big Ten propaganda.
Oh, that's not where I was going with that. It's just Mountain West has had some rough seedings, tough matchups in the first round. Yeah. They had a fucking team in the national championship 2 years ago. And that was San Diego State. So if anything,
we're talking about.
If anything, the trend of the Mountain West not winning any games is bullshit if they use it with San Diego State, who played for a title just 3 years ago.
Yeah, I wasn't even trying to bait Mac on that one. I was actually more of agreeing with him with the
I was talking about whatever the comment that we showed there. That was bait. That was tossed out a hook with some cheese strapped to the end and was hoping for a bite from one of the fish. So we have flipped the slide. We are turning the page on that conversation. That would be going 10 minutes too long. The Big Ten tournament delivered a classic in the first matchup of the day between Michigan and Wisconsin. The Aussie, Austin Rapp, filled in for the role of the Wisconsin dude that just fucking drains threes left and right against Michigan, gave him a real shot of winning this game. This one was a lot uglier than the first matchup between the two teams, just a whole lot less offense, but it still remains like the big man for Wisconsin stretching out, knocking down some threes. Rapp had 6 of them in this thing. And that seems to be the matchup that, if you have the ability to take advantage of it against Michigan, that might be it. That's the second time that Wisconsin's given the Wolverines an absolute thriller. I saw somebody else in the chat earlier saying Michigan doesn't have a closer. If you didn't watch the final 2 minutes of the game, you didn't see how this thing was closed. Elliot Cadeau with a big three, bang, and then a broken play. They're scrambling. Cadeau kicks it out to Yaxel Lendeborg, who just drains a three for the win in this one with 0.3 seconds left. I don't know what you need to see if you're looking for a closer, and that didn't do suffice. 4 guys in double-digit points for both teams here. Mac, Michigan edges out the Badgers. Wisconsin's super hot right now. Your thoughts from this one?
Yeah, well, Wisconsin's fucking with these top teams for sure. I mean, they swept Illinois. They've already won on the road at Purdue and at Michigan. So watch out for Wisconsin. But I mean, they are always a trendy pick recently to make a Final Four. So beware of that.
Yeah. Nick Boyd goes 6 of 20 from the field. Dusty May slapped Yaxel Lendeborg, one of the best perimeter defenders in the Big Ten, on Boyd. Made life hell. Nothing came free for the old FEU Owl that led Dusty May to the Final Four back in 2024. So Dusty knew that matchup, valued his best defender on Boyd there. Troy, Michigan takes down Wisconsin. They move to the final. Your thoughts on maybe Wisconsin going into the big dance or Michigan heading into the title game here?
We should shout out Austin Rapp because he was a Portland Pilot before this, and Portland doesn't get a lot of love from the TMZ crowd. So shout out to the Pilots. The 4 straight threes that he made was hilarious. It was like, are they just going to let him continue to shoot over and over and over again? And I mean, I still think Wisconsin's dangerous when you've got guard play like that. You could take out a few teams, but I would definitely heed Mac's warning of taking them all the way to the Final Four or something like that. It seems like it could be just out of their reach.
Yeah.
Michigan's obviously really fucking good, and I mean, this is another one of those where we didn't fault Houston earlier. I don't think you can really fault Wisconsin. You know the level of competition you're going up against when you're playing a Michigan team like that. I'm just a little mad at myself when we went over this and I saw the 12.5 and I thought that was bait. So I stayed away from it, and it was very clearly not bait. Everybody had a sweat free if they took the plus 12.5 points. And I mean, the money line guys got to be a little bit frustrated here, but the right team won, I will say. The team that probably should have won the Big Ten did. So that's not like we're not worried about getting some weird results there, but I would definitely heed the warning of taking Wisconsin mega far. They seem like they could pick somebody off and then also would get picked off maybe directly after that.
There was a second Big Ten game today as Purdue handled UCLA. The Bruins played without Tyler Bilodeau. They're starting 4, their best front court player there. And safe to say, Purdue dominated the glass. They out-rebounded UCLA 37-26. That was a safe assumption that it was going to happen. Oscar Clough had quite the day for the Boilermakers as they advanced to the title game. Purdue 73, UCLA 66. And I would say the exact same thing that I said about San Diego State versus Utah State. It never really seemed like Mick Cronin's team threatened to win this game. They get the extra day off before the NCAA tournament. Mac, your thoughts from this one?
Purdue looked good from what I could tell. Outside of finishing the game, they didn't really finish the game strong. But I think Purdue finally got some rest after dropping all those games, and they've come into the Big Ten tournament with some new energy. So shout out to Purdue getting it done over UCLA tonight. Now it's going to be an interesting title game here.
Yeah, Troy, any takeaways here?
I mean, I would think between Purdue and Michigan, that would have been a very, very popular, if you were to ask just a random group of people before the season what they thought that the tournament final could be. Purdue, Michigan was probably pretty popular, and it's going to be good to see, especially Purdue's certainly playing better here coming down the stretch. We mentioned kind of hitting that point of we've got nothing to lose, and this is our last chance with these experienced guys on this roster. We might as well just go out there and wing it. And that's always a dangerous team. And I know we're going to talk about the games, but at a certain point, the talent that's on the court just seems to steamroll over some people.
Yeah. And in this one, notably, Donovan Dent did not finish the game. He had a first half injury there too. I still think this one was, the biggest difference between the two teams was the extra opportunities that Purdue was able to get on the offensive glass. And I think that Purdue's backcourt would have been able to match up UCLA defensively there. But Donovan Dent also an injury that unfortunately we need to watch as we enter March Madness in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah, very. As that's their two best players going down in Bilodeau and Dent. SEC tournament. I ate a lot of shit here picking my Gators against Vanderbilt as they get slapped around by the Commodores 91-74. This one was not a game in the second half whatsoever. Tyler Tanner announced his presence today, had a fantastic game, goes for 20 and 8. But Vanderbilt did not miss today. They shoot 47.5% from three. They were money from the floor, just around 50%. It wasn't even like Florida didn't have a terrible game. They turned it over a bit more than I would like, and a lot of them came from the big man and Condon handling the ball. Definitely not something that I would prefer seeing deeper in the tournament against quality teams, but good to take one on the chin, as a lot of people, including myself, were noticing that Todd Golden was very confident in the last couple of matchups, getting into some skirmishes on the sideline there. Good to take one on the mouth before the NCAA tournament, in my opinion. Mac, Vanderbilt, I just tip my cap. What do you do?
Wire to wire, definitely tip your cap. I mean, we thought, well, at least I thought that they could hang in this thing. I never thought they would beat Florida, yet alone blow them the fuck out. That was what was just under. They made shots. Florida really did not make shots. Started pressing because they were behind. Finally, Florida has not proven that they can come from behind so far this year.
I will say that is definitely a little bit of a worry, but like Noah mentioned, if you look at the entire team shooting splits for Vanderbilt being 55, 48, 91 field three free throw line, you're basically playing Steph Curry, but 5 of them.
Yeah.
That's those teams are going to win when you get hot like that. There's nothing you can do, but I will definitely say this raised a little bit of eyebrows looking to back Florida coming tournament time. They do have to worry about any kind of a slow start and maybe a team being able to dictate the pace and forcing them to come from behind. But just super impressive from Vanderbilt. I know, shout out Damani. He's been all over his doors, and rightfully so. They look great.
I'm not, I guess, as nervous with Florida playing from behind. Like, off the cuff, I'm struggling to remember a game where they've had, like, where they've come from behind, because they haven't had to do it a ton. But this team, the way they're built, I would say it's not, the formula where they would struggle from behind. I think they have some shot makers and some defense to be able to stack some stops and build a comeback from that way. But the biggest thing for me is, on nights where Florida's not hitting their threes, today they go 5 of 17. Who's going to step up and make a difference? And once again, kind of empty in that department. That's, for me, what I circle entering the NCAA tournament, where Florida is ultimately going to come up just short. Anything else we want to add on that game before we touch on Arkansas Ole Miss?
No, it's Saw Cogs and Rebs. Fun game.
Oh my God. Ole Miss just did not want to die. They took this thing to overtime, man. 93-90. Arkansas pulls it out.
And went for the win and got a good look, too.
I mean, do we think that should have been an and one at the end of regulation?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, that was an and one. Ole Miss wins that game by 1 point. I mean, if they make the free throw, obviously, but what a game.
If
this one was, the only sweat that I had on the spread was, oh man, this one's going to go to overtime, and there's a chance that someone just decides to get hot. But what a game. Chris Beard's guys don't get to go to the steakhouse one more time, which is sad. I would be playing so hard for a chance to go to the steakhouse. And I think it was lobster night, so they miss out on the nice lobsters. But this is these are the kind of games that we would have expected from the SEC all year, and it's nice to see them here. We know that the top level is still really, really good in this conference. So Chris Beard in March again. I mean, you might have to deal with some other things with him as a coach, but when it comes to strictly basketball, the guy knows what he's doing.
I thought the better team won in this matchup. Like, Arkansas dominated the box score, didn't necessarily make a ton of clutch plays in this one. Mississippi just hung around in this. Ole Miss finished really hot and, forced this thing to overtime, had a chance to win it in a couple of different possessions there. Malik Thomas, the freshman for Arkansas, had his day. A lot of Darius Acuff talk, and I've been at the forefront of it, but man, oh man, did Malik Thomas look impressive today. So Arkansas advances. They escape out of this matchup. They get Vandy. You could say, hey, Vandy kind of cruised to the finish line. They didn't play as, impactful or, as tense and engaging minutes down the stretch of their game. Arkansas played 45 closely contested minutes. Could be advantage Commodores, guys. Is that what the thought is there before we pick the game?
On paper, yes.
The next one that we're going to chat up real quick, we head to the American.
Boringly today.
As chalk holds in both matchups. South Florida cruises against Charlotte, wins by 22. The Bulls, honestly, I was more impressed by this game than really any other. There's been so much noise surrounding Hodgson and where he'll land next, as it seems ever so likely that he will not be returning to Tampa for the next season. And then also Wichita State, again, similar to San Diego State, similar to UCLA, just kind of gets stiff-armed throughout, or Wichita State stiff-arms Tulsa throughout. Golden Hurricanes were not able to build any momentum to threaten a comeback here as the Shockers, they hold out. Thoughts from this one, boys? Mac, I'll go with you first.
USF's been the best team, top to bottom, the whole conference play. So no surprise that they're playing for the championship. And then Wichita, I think, is playing pretty well. They got 20 plus wins. Hopefully we get a game tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, Wichita is definitely playing well enough to give South Florida a game. South Florida is just so athletic in this conference. And I mean, for the Tulsa-Wichita game, I think we've got to give a shout out to the chat, because last night the entire chat was talking about how stupid that Golden Hurricane logo is that Colby sometimes uses on the slides, and that it doesn't deserve to even be in the game, and they never really were.
Next tournament that we're going to talk about is the SWAC, and this championship game, guys, was a wilder one than we thought we were going to get halfway through. Prairie View leading by 20 around halftime. Southern builds a comeback all the way. They take a lead in this. They're threatening for a win. Prairie View A&M, ultimately, the Panthers pull it out. They win the SWAC championship by a score of 72-66. Made some plays down the stretch of this game. Lance Williams goes for 18, 5 assists, 4 boards. Had a great game. I mean, Prairie View all year kind of been a little bit of a stumper. They've had, Dante Horn, who's been one of the best players in the SWAC all year long. Michael Jacobs right there with him from Southern. Mac, throughout the game, I guess you were maybe surprised by the result. Who did you pick in this one again?
I had Prairie View. Prairie View continues with their magic, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was standing from the hilltops talking about this Prairie View money line being where the value was. And the first half of the game, I'm thinking, it's been a minute since we've had a sweat-free dog, and not so fast. This was not a comeback that I expected to see. I mean, I probably should have, because Southern's pretty dang good, but Prairie View Magic, man, they're going crazy out there.
Yeah, so Prairie View now sits 18 and 17 overall. It's almost a guarantee that we'll get another SWAC team in Dayton playing in the first four. The other candidates for that game will be Lehigh, Howard, Long Island, UMBC, Queens. Does Prairie View stand a chance? Do they have a chance to win a game in Dayton, Mac?
Dayton, yeah, for sure. They could win one of those playing games. I just worry if they get it's the next game that I think that would wear them out. We just see it like these teams, they just get worn out when they get played that extra game. So, but yeah, I think they can win a game in Dayton.
I would think motivation-wise, if for some reason they were to match them up against Howard and we get a SWAC MEAC play-in game, I think you got to throw a bunch of stuff out the window, and maybe the Prairie View Magic has a chance to continue there. But this is the worst thing when your team gets hot in tournament time, and then you've got to do the 4-day, 5-day sit off. And luckily, the first four for them, maybe they get a Tuesday game and they can keep it running. But if it's all the way to Wednesday, I would be a little bit more weary.
And I mean, shoot, whoever had that future on Prairie View prior to the tournament, they were the first team to win 4 games in 4 days in the SWAC tournament. That is a hell of a future pick. Great bet to Dusty Bottoms there. The next conference tournament that we're going to jump into is the Conference USA, as Kennesaw State punches their ticket back to the NCAA tournament. First since 2023. They get the job done against Louisiana Tech. Kind of dictated the pace throughout in this one, held the lead for a lot of this game. Mac, the Owls go dancing for the second time in the last 4 years.
And like you said, it's a great story. I thought this league was wide open the entire year. It's like Liberty was the heavy favorite, but then they stumbled down the stretch. Then Sam Houston, we thought was the team to beat. They dropped some game. Western Kentucky is always in the hunt. Middle Tennessee, Louisiana Tech, but Kennesaw always kind of just hung out around 500. And they got healthier, and I think they got better throughout the year. So, shout out to Kennesaw, the Owls, for winning Conference USA.
Yeah, and I think they had the basketball gods on their side. A lot of shooting variants kind of helped them out to the finish line here. They had that guard in the preseason who got into a car wreck, didn't even step on the floor for them this year. They had the other guard in Simeon Cottle, who's their best player through the first half of the season. Then he gets yanked off the court due to the gambling probe. One of the league's worst 3-point defenses held Louisiana Tech to just 2 of 28 from deep today. That ultimately, I think, was the difference. Troy, Kennesaw State, Louisiana Tech. Any takeaways from this one from you?
I mean, I didn't have too many eyes on this one. This was another one of the I'll trust the Cannabis Cappers play, and I know Cap is a Kennesaw State fan, and he got their sweet little the Hawaiian shirt giveaway they did was kind of like this one that I have. But yeah, it's kind of funny that this is the dude that got yanked for gambling, and their team immediately turned a corner as soon as they don't have a guy on there that's fucking rigging games.
More going on than people.
Oh, it's going on everywhere.
So right now Kennesaw State's projected as a 14, so they're probably going to draw a 3. The current 3 seeds are Illinois, Purdue, Nebraska, Gonzaga. Any chance for this team against one of those? I would side with no, Mac. How about you?
Maybe Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois is definitely trending in the wrong direction.
They just have a bad shooting night, but yeah, for the most part, I agree.
What about Nebraska? What if Kennesaw State's the team that prevents them from getting their first NCAA tournament win? That would be quite heartbreaking for the Corn folks.
Oh, it really would.
Yeah, that would really suck.
I would lean no, Noah.
All right. And then the other team that I didn't bring this up for. So Akron currently projected as the top 12. Maybe they come out as an 11, depending on how the NCAA selection committee structures this. But your current 5 seeds, Arkansas, Texas Tech, St. John's, Wisconsin, year after year, Akron's in the dance, but they don't quite compete against some of the top foes. Mac, Arkansas, Texas Tech, St. John's, Wisconsin, do the Zips have a chance in any of those games?
Oh, dude, the Zips definitely have a shot. They have high major size and athleticism, and they got good guards that make shots. So, yeah, they can score inside, outside. And Gross has won tournament games as a double-digit dog for.
Yeah, and I think it was big for them to have a game where they basically, I would say they kind of struggled the whole time and were still able to sneak it out there at the end to really show that you got belief. They certainly have the coach to pull it off. I would start to lean yes as well, like Mac does, that if there's going to be one of these teams that people are looking at to pull an upset early, it could be the Zips. We do have to keep track of how many people are going to say that Miami of Ohio doesn't deserve to be in, and then also pick Akron in the first round. We will highlight that on a show because those people are morons. I'm speaking about myself.
The MEAC is the next game that we'll talk about. Howard kind of played with their food, almost got burned here against Central. Howard wins 70-63. Did you get any eyes on this one, Mac? As I know you were probably on the road when this thing tipped, right?
I watched the last minute on via the phone, but yeah, not many motivational speeches here.
Yeah, I mean, Howard's been the best team in this league throughout. Like, I'm happy that they were the ones that were able to punch the ticket out of the MEAC. I think on paper they're your strongest roster. And they did it without Bryce Harris really having one of his best games offensively, scoring wise. Troy, did you catch any of this? The MEAC final, Howard, NC Central?
Right around halftime here was when the I think it was approaching 22 hours of being awake told me that it was time to roll. And I had my Prairie View A&M with the Howard spread. I forgot what the earlier game had already had finished up, and I was getting ready to fall asleep, and I was like, you're going to hate yourself if you wake up and Howard blows this cover. And they go on a 15-1 run to start the second half. So I get 19.5 with Central and then hedge it and go to bed. So, save myself some waking up heartbreak. But like you said, it's good that the best team gets to win this conference because they've definitely got athleticism. Howard, I don't know if I want to say should be a trendy upset pick or anything like that coming out after the first 4, but man, they could be fun to maybe put a first half money line on and look for lucrative cash out options early in the game or something.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. And then the last tournament that we'll talk about is Ivy Madness. Yale dresses it up against Cornell in this one. They won by 12 in Ithaca. I would say it was hovering around this number throughout. Cornell really didn't threaten to win at any point of this one. But higher scoring game because Cornell running up and down the floor. I think that may skew with some people's perceptions as Yale enters this next one against Penn, who pulls the short upset against Harvard. 62-60 in overtime. This one was a complete opposite side of a ball game. This one was a little bit of a slog as the two teams combined for 55 points in regular or 53 points in regular time. Penn getting it done without Ethan Roberts, one of their better players. TJ Power had a great game today, going for a double-double. Power Conference ACC transfer coming into the Ivy League, showing up in the biggest moments, Mac.
Yeah, and shout out to McCaffrey, man. Penn, year 1 in the championship game. I mean, that's unheard of. So
unthinkable.
Yeah, like this is crazy that he's in a championship game.
I picked him 8th in the preseason.
One game away from the dance. So shout out to he's making Penn look like Utah State. That's what McCaffrey's doing. Nobody's supposed to win like this at Penn right away.
Yeah.
Shout out to McCaffrey.
Troy?
Unbelievable job.
Yeah, the split the future on Cornell and Penn. We've got a chance. We've got a chance. Maybe Penn gets hot and can do something here, but it really does feel like the best team in Yale is going to be able to handle them. I know we'll talk about that in a second, but believe it or not, the staples in the Ivy League did not catch more than about 5 or 8 total minutes of my eyes today.
Yeah, speaking of, that's the first game that we're going to pick here today, guys. Penn and Yale doing battle on Cornell's floor. Currently, our line, I did not have it ready. Mac, do you have it in front of you?
Yeah, it is. Yale's laying 9.5.
Wow. Bulldogs minus 9.5.
If you want, then you can get it at what is that? BetMGM? Caesars. You can get it at Caesars.
So the cocktail napkins really favoring Penn to keep this thing close, and that kind of goes with my gut as well. The cocktail napkins got this thing at 4.5. I think Yale dressing up yesterday's score against a team that loves to run up and down the floor really gets involved in some high scoring games. Penn on the other side winning a low scoring slugfest in overtime. I think a lot of people are gonna, find themselves on the Yale side of things. Mac, I like Penn. I'm gonna lock up the Quakers here. How about you?
I like McCaffrey company too. I mean, the two meetings I thought were relatively close. I know they blew it open late in January, but last time 74-70. I think McCaffrey and company, they're shooting the ball, they're sharing the ball well. I like McCaffrey and company to lay it and lock it.
Troy, Penn, Yale. Penn getting 9.5. Are you triple locking this, or are you on the Bulldogs like you hinted earlier?
No, I'm going over to get the 10 with Penn, and I'm starting the show off with a triple lock right off the bat. I think you get to a conference championship game. I mean, I know it's straight semis and then final, but these guys are 40 minutes away from an NCAA tournament berth. I think you're going to get a pretty good effort. I think the napkin has it right. We see like a 5-point game or something like that here, and they keep it close. We'll take the 10 points. Quakers, baby.
Quakers,
All
baby.
Right,
put your Ben Franks on the Quakers.
Let's play some triple lock music here. We are going to pause the action real quick to tell you guys about the bracket challenge that SGPN is running over there at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. We're giving away $5,000 in prizes to the winner or tied for winners. Go over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket to enter for free. Plus, we have our $25,000 survivor pool for March Madness. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor to go over there and sign up. If you haven't used Splash Sports before, we have a promo code SGPN50 to get up to $50 in bonus pick'em entries. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor to enter today. And we are also brought to you by SeatGeek. They are the #1 rated ticketing app with over 35 million downloads. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. The NCAA tournament is officially here. They will have every tournament site and game ready to go as soon as it's released for you guys over there. Use the promo code SGPN10 for 10% off any tickets with the promo code SGPN10. MLB's back. The NBA, NHL playoffs are right around the corner, plus the World Cup is sneaking up on us right after March Madness here. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know that you're getting a good deal. Go over there, look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And of course, I have a code for you guys, SGPN10, for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That is 10% off any tickets with promo code SGPN10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek. And the college basketball experience is also brought to you by Kalshi, a real money prediction market where it's legal in all 50 states. Kalshi has a ton of trading options for your favorite sports. Kalshi now has combos where you can combine 2 or more predictions to increase your payouts today. And Kalshi, over there on their platform, you can trade anything. March Madness right around the corner, and Kalshi's going to have plenty of markets for you to get in on the fun. New Kalshi customers can get $20 when they use the promo code SGPN. That is Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. And the college basketball experience is also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, as they have you covered for pick'em for almost every sport. Underdog Fantasy has just increased their payouts on their pick'em platform. 2-pick entries now pay 3.5x. 3-pick entries now pay 6.5x your entry fee. Underdog has a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with the promo code TCESGPN. And we are back here on the college basketball experience. Myself, Noah Bieniek, joined alongside Moneyline Mac and Troy Tuning. We're running through picks for Sunday, March 15th, a.k.a. Selection Sunday. And game number 2 that we're going to talk about is Dayton and VCU. The Rams are laying 2.5. You can find a 3 also if you're looking for Dayton. Mac, go ahead and bat lead off on this one for us, as you're going to be in the building at PBG Paints Arena down there in PGH.
Yeah, and I'll be on the dog. I think Anthony Grant getting to see his former team a third time. The second meeting was a lot more successful than the first one. The one at the Seal Center, I mean, that was a complete embarrassment early last month. But, I mean, they played, a week ago, and VCU went to UD Arena, which is a tough-ass place to play in front of a lit environment. Took them right to the wire before ultimately falling short. But, I like Dayton, man. I like the mojo here. Anthony Grant back against the wall. I think that they're a lot healthier than the last time I saw them in person. After watching them today, give me Dayton. Lock it up, and this will be. I'm going to take it on the money line too.
Yeah, I'll jump in on the fun here with the Flyers. The Cocktail Napkins got it right at that 2 number. We're getting a 3 over at, I believe it was
3.5 at BetMGM if you want it.
3.5 at MGM. So yeah, shout out to MGM for hanging that number. I'll take it with the 3.5, getting just over a possession. The Flyers, I think, have less to lose in this matchup. VCU being the bubble team, if they lose, now they're sweating it out on Selection Sunday just after this thing goes final. The pressure's on Phil Martelli Jr. and the Rams to get this thing done. Give me Dayton, who's been playing their best ball of the season down the stretch here. And I think they have a chance to win it, Troy. Do you agree with us on Dayton, or are you going with VCU?
This is what happens when we do the pregame show, and in the first 2 games we do, everybody agrees we're either going to be rolling in dough or eating ramen noodles for dinner. I just wanted to shout out MD Port 23. He gave us $5 to say, Noah, don't ever do that again. And I was on a different tab, so I don't know what it is that you did, Noah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm riding with you guys with Dayton. So
Flyers.
All of the first preseason tournaments that I went to as like an older high schooler and a college kid, I would always go over to the Wide World of Sports in Kissimmee and watch some of the preseason tournaments they had there. And that was when I first learned that the Dayton Flyers fans travel pretty freaking well. And the fact that they got beat at UD Arena and they're going to have a lot of guys in the building in Pittsburgh, I do like catching the 3.5. I like playing the money line with Dayton too. So we're gonna play both of those, but lock up the 3.5. We've got back-to-back
Go
triple locks,
Flyers.
right?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
And if you're not betting all 5 of these games, you're a loser.
And we only have 2 more games to go.
Yeah, I think what MD Port is pulling up there is I said Noah B or Noah Bieniek or whatever, and I think they prefer my other nickname that I did not agree to or whatever. So
Somebody
Yeah.
hacked your shit.
sure, but yeah, triple lock and Dayton. All right, same story for the other 1 o'clock game. We're seeing a lot of 2.5s. There is a 2, there is a 3 across the board on this one. Vanderbilt and Arkansas doing battle in Nashville. Arkansas had their way with the Commodores the first time around, and that is why they are, or I guess they are getting points the second time around. So is this line speaking to you a little bit on that aspect, Mac?
I think so, just because Arkansas is the 2 seed, Vanderbilt the 4 or 5. But I mean,
And
last time
then-
they played,
And Arkansas went to OT the last game too.
yeah. And then you got the whole thing with Arkansas winning at home, and give me Vandy. I'm gonna lay with Vandy. I'm gonna play the revenge angle. Arkansas completely annihilated them, embarrassed them in the first meeting. I think Byington and company, they continue that momentum off of that Billikens game. Yeah, I'll lay it with Vandy. Lock it up.
First disagreement of the day. Give me Arkansas. I think their backcourt can match Vanderbilt's backcourt. I think for me, Vandy ran so hot shooting well against a strong defense in Florida. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it back-to-back games. They shot 50% from the floor, 40% from 3 yesterday. Give me the Hogs, as I think Vandy falls back down the earth shooting-wise, just a tad. I think the wrong team's favored here. Give me the Hogs. Troy, decide the tie between Mac and I.
Decide the tide. Well, since we've got 368 people in here watching, not pressing the like button, I could do the woo pig suey as loud as possible into the microphone and screw everybody's ears up, but I will refrain from doing that. I think 3.5 is too much. I could see either one of these teams winning by a single bucket in this game. I do think that this one comes down to the wire, specifically because Vanderbilt shot so hot and kind of ran away from the semifinal matchup. Feel like it's destiny that we're going to get a close one. And I will go with taking 3.5 points and getting a cuff at the same time. This one is almost harder to get to the money line for me because I still think there's a way that Vanderbilt can find a way to eke this out. But I'll take the 3.5 points and side with I don't know if I should say the nickname or not. Does the chat want me to say Bieniek or Beanflick?
The cocktail napkins got this thing dangerously higher than the total. You can get some 166.5s out there. The cocktail napkins got this thing in the 170s. I'll ride with that. I'll ride with my total, actually. Give me the over 160. 166.5. I didn't come in with that as a bet, but I will leave the show with that being one of my favorite plays, I think. Yeah, I'll bet Arkansas and the over. So we've got a battle between
Give me
a
Penn.
couple of us. There we go. Penn, Vandy.
Penn, Vandy, all of them. Let's go.
March Madness is taking its toll on the Moneyline Macintosh cranium.
Dayton, all these teams. We're winning them all tomorrow.
All right. The next game takes place in the American as we have South Florida, the 1 seed, up against the 2 seed Wichita State.
Oh, man, this game.
I mean, credit to Paul Mills getting the Shockers to this matchup. However, I I left that second game very, very much impressed with USF and how they handled that. I think this line's quite short, almost alarmingly short to me. 5.5. There's some 6.5s out there. I'm on USF. I think just eye test. This team has been very impressive down the stretch of the year, even with all the distractions. The cocktail napkins got it right on the number, but I'm going to go Bulls here, Mac, and lock it up. How about you?
I'm going to battle you. Wichita has given USF fits this year. They beat them on the road at their place. The game at Wichita was close. USF ultimately did grind it out. Giving me the famous 5.5. I will take the points and lock it up.
All right. Troy?
Yeah, I was gonna bring up that the superficially the line is alarmingly short, but the Shockers have fucked with South Florida. I think at this time of year, though, you kind of see the talent roll over. I'll take the 6.5 for the free point that DraftKings is giving away with Wichita State, but I think South Florida gets this done and gets the berth.
All right. So you're on the Bulls to win, Shockers to cover.
Shockers to cover.
Lock battle.
I'm glad we didn't agree on all 5. That would have been
boring.
I could play
And
that
the final-
too. You know what? I'm going to look at what the first half money line Wichita game money line USF is.
And the final game of the season takes place in the Big Ten, 3:30 tip Eastern on CBS. Purdue and Michigan, the 2 preseason favorites, meet in the Big Ten championship game in Chicago. McIntyre, Boilermakers or Wolverines? By the way, the line on this one is 6.5 or 7.5, depending on the book you look at.
And I not to interrupt you, Mac, I starred this and forgot that I did. We got a super chat earlier from a guy that was Skybrick was telling us that South Florida average win amount the last 5 games, 18 points. So they've been covering's pretty easy. Just sorry about interrupting the Big Ten game with the next stat. Got to give our donating fans get a chance to get a shout out.
Sounds like a good time to fade them. Purdue hasn't lost since that Hail Mary game. Talk with Northwestern. Boiler up. I think Purdue's going to get the revenge. Michigan embarrassed them last year in the Big Ten tournament.
Embarrassed them on their home floor earlier this year too.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people took their jabs and licks at Purdue. I think Purdue answers the bell tomorrow. I think they're going to be ready to go. I think they make some shots. And I don't think Braden Smith's going to have that horrible game he had in the first meeting. I think he plays well. So, yeah, give me Purdue. Boiler up.
I am going to go with the over in this one. The total's at 150.5 in multiple spots. Cocktail Napkins got this at 155. I think that both teams may, turn this thing into an up and down score fest. Michigan was kind of held in the mud the last couple of games here in Chicago against Wisconsin and Ohio State. I could see them putting up 80 against a Purdue defense that hasn't been tremendous lately, but in Chicago, they have been better on that end. That's why they've been winning a couple of games. I will take them to cover. I'll lock up the over in case that defense kind of turns into a pumpkin. Troy, your thoughts in this one, the final game of the season before we get the tournament?
I'm taking Braden Smith in games in March. I hate to fade your Michigan team here, Noah. I'll make you feel happy. I'm not going to go all the way to the money line on Purdue, but I will take the 6.5 that's out there. And before you put in your over bet, check BetMGM. They've got a 149.5.
Oh, perfect. I will do that. Over 149.5 for me, but that is a double lock for Troy and Mac on Purdue.
Let's go, Boilers.
This Purdue logo is pretty awesome. It's like Lance Armstrong's ball sack, just one.
All right. That does it for the Sunday games. Just a handful, just 5 total. Mac, kick us off. Let's do 2 favorite picks, like 2 favorite locks, and then your favorite team to pull the upset on Sunday afternoon.
All right. Give me Purdue. Give me Wichita, the dog.
We're going big game hunting, right, Mac?
Why am I even scrolling through this? Everybody knows where I'm going. I'm just trying to see what they are on the money line. Plus 150, the Dayton Flyers. Going dancing. Anthony Grant beats his former school. 3rd time's a charm.
Troy, step to the plate. What's your 2 favorite bets and a dog that you like on Sunday afternoon?
I was gonna roll with that over 165.5 in the Vandy Arkansas game as one of my favorite bets. I like Wichita getting 6.5 against USF, and we're going big game hunting. Plus 403 on the Penn Quakers money line to get an NCAA berth and hammer the short 4-team somehow still plus 660 future.
God, I hope so.
I love how you're using the big game hunting and then going to the smallest game on the day. I love it. Love it out of you, Troy. I agree with Mac on my dog. Give me Dayton to win that thing outright against VCU plus 150. They've just got a lot less to lose than VCU. A whole lot more pressure on those Rams to get it done outright. And then I'll go with the 2 totals. Biggest edges of the day for the cocktail napkin are on the totals. Michigan, Purdue over 150.5. Arkansas, Vanderbilt over 166.5. Shop around. Troy said there's an over 149.5. I didn't see it, but that was a full point under what I saw as the best price on my phone. And then, the 166.5 with Arkansas and Vanderbilt. So that'll wrap up the show. I don't quite know what exactly our plan is for Sunday selection show.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll be on the YouTube channel at some point, and I don't know even know who the cast is going to be and what's up there. We still got to hash out a lot on our end with the college experience and how we're handling things for the upcoming week, but we will be giving you guys some content every single day throughout this thing. So yeah, I would say be alert around selection show 6 p.m. Eastern or beyond throughout the night. There will be a show. I can promise you that. But we're signing off for the final time before we have an NCAA tournament bracket. You can follow Ryan McIntyre at moneyline_Mac. You can follow Troy Tuning at Troy Tuning. You can follow myself at NoahB77_. You can follow the show at TCE on SGPN. Mac, any other words parting before we get out of here?
The madness is here, man. Take every second in, enjoy it while it lasts. Can't wait to get out to Vegas here in 72 hours. Just what I need, more trouble.
Oh, it's so close.
Troy, any words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom. Actually, as a man of the people, we get one more chat shout out. Thank you, Darian, for telling all the people at the wedding that I'm sure were so interested in hearing these drunk fucks talk about college basketball. He did say that it was South Carolina, not West Virginia, Mac, or else I was going to say we'd have 120 people as subs by tomorrow. If they got to see Moneyline Mac talk and they're from West Virginia, they'd be in instantly. But
speaking of, hit the subscribe button, leave a rating, review, subscribe wherever you're listening to on podcast platforms. That'll do it for us tonight here on Selection Sunday Eve, 4:34 a.m. Eastern, signing off from the College Experience. This has been the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we are out of here.
What of the cool things should I show this time, Bieniek? The Obi autograph?
Any John Carlson over there?
I do have one right here. R.I.P. Best cap defender of our entire franchise.